is waking. When April started, the ground was covered in snow. But within only a few weeks' time, trees have been growing leaves and flowers have started to bloom. The sun a little warmer. The sky a little more blue. Life suddenly is everywhere again, and it's magical. Hey you, welcome to my channel, A Year in the Day. My name is Jenny, and April was, in many ways, all about new beginnings. Not just for nature, with spring finally truly arriving, but also for me, since I had some starting over to do myself. I got COVID for the very first time ever in the first week of April. And despite being fully vaccinated, it hit me pretty hard. Rebuilding my energy took time and effort, and regaining my taste and smell brought a new level of appreciation for my own senses. It took me the rest of the month to fully recover. April is also my birthday month. Another year on this planet, another trip around the sun. The start of a new cycle. It is always a moment for reflection and looking ahead. As soon as I could, I turned to the garden. I spent a whole afternoon taking out weeds and doing chores. I installed our millstone again, which we turned into a water ornament, and enjoyed its calming sounds and the sunshine. At the end of April there was King's Day, a Dutch national holiday where the birthday of the king is celebrated. It's tradition for the people of the Netherlands to lay out blankets on the ground and try to sell old toys, books, tools and everything else they feel like selling. We call this the kleedjesmarkt, literally translated, blanket market. Children are performing music and dance to earn a little money, and people are selling food and coffee. We spent the morning enjoying the sunshine and the beautiful tulips that are growing everywhere now. Back inside my little studio, I did some spring cleaning and reorganizing. I also put some stuff aside that is ready for a new home. Bringing in new pretty stuff is one thing, but letting go of old things I find a lot more difficult. And I feel a strong need to improve that in the upcoming months by rehoming as much as possible that does not spark joy anymore. Reorganizing my colorful yarn collection really made me excited to start a new crochet project. I've been crocheting for about 10 years now and also designed some patterns. Maybe I'll share some on this channel in the future. With that said, let's go to my table and take a look at some stuff that brought me joy in April. Let's start with a few lovely thrift store finds. I went to a few thrift stores with a friend this month and came back with 3 little random treasures. This lovely rustic ceramic bowl with a lid. candle holder that can hold a variety of candle sizes. And this little ceramic snail. What can I say? I have a weak spot for random ceramic animals. I just can't resist. On King's Day I got this amazing picture book for like €2, which is insanely cheap. Illustrated by Flemish artist Karl Knut. I love his style and I'm so happy I was able to find this one and bring it home. Let's move on to YouTube. I did 2 videos this month about the Outgrow Yourself Tarot and Oracle by Ekta Spalman, a first impressions video and a deck mod. So I was very happy to find out that Lisa Papez and Dawn Michelle from Boho Tarot did a collaboration about this deck. Dawn Michelle did a video on how to use Outgrow Yourself as an oracle, which was a lot of fun because that is also the way I use the deck. Lisa, on the other hand, did a video about the deck as a tarot and did a side-by-side walkthrough with the Thoth. Since I have not studied the Thoth myself, I've found this was so interesting and it gave me some great new insights about the deck. So definitely go check out these videos if you're interested. I will link them below. A channel I discovered this month was Roaming Wild Rosie. She is a Dutch girl who lived in London for 17 years, decided to go traveling and then pretty spontaneously decided to buy a summer house in Sweden. She has very little hands-on experience with building or renovating, and she's really open and honest about that, which makes her journey all the more interesting. And since I'm secretly dreaming of a cabin in the woods myself, I binged all of her videos this month and really enjoyed following along. I'll link her channel below if you want to see more. For journaling, I did a little impulse buy this month, and to be honest, I wasn't really sure if I was going to regret it or not. I have been journaling with this Y Studio portable fountain pen since the beginning of the year, and it writes so perfectly and so smoothly. I absolutely love it. But it's also made of copper, and therefore it's quite heavy. Especially for long writing sessions, it gets a bit uncomfortable after a while. I ignored it at first, but when I picked up journaling again after COVID, and I was still very tired, I spontaneously decided to take action and ordered this resin version of the pen. This pen, also by Y Studio, with the same nib, is about half the weight of the portable one, and therefore is a lot more comfortable for longer writing sessions. And although it does not exactly write as smoothly as the portable one, I did decide to keep it in the end. And I now switch between them depending on how long I plan on writing. Let's move on to the decks I used in April. Coming out of COVID, having to start at my day job again, and still feeling overall very overwhelmed, I decided to use 3 decks for April that do not specifically pair well together, but that are familiar to me on their own. I've shown Reclaim Oracle by Marion Constantine a few times before on my channel, because it's one of my favorite oracle decks. The artwork always helps me analyze and accept my emotions in a very gentle way, even, or maybe especially, when dealing with the more difficult ones. I pulled the Despair card for April, which is not a fun one to pull, but fitted well with my general feeling of overwhelm at the start of the month. The second deck I used for April was the Wildwood Tarot, illustrated by Will Worthington. I absolutely love this deck, and I'm keeping my copy in this beautiful tarot wrap I got from Etsy, from a shop called The Call of the Raven. They use the most beautiful fabrics to create high quality tarot wraps, and I love mine very much. I will link them down below. For April, I pulled the Stoat, or Page of Bows, which, despite the meaning from the guidebook, I mostly associated with a bit of nervous energy I was feeling. The third card I pulled from Secrets of the Mystic Grove, a very comforting oracle deck. I love the use of multiple keywords and the guidebook, which holds journaling prompts. I absolutely love the watercolor style of the illustrations and the use of colors in this deck. Where Reclaim and Wildwood always seem to come with a kick, Secrets of the Mystic Grove is always very soothing. I pulled the Trust card, and it was a nice one to balance out the other two. As if to say, trust this too shall pass. Trust things will get better. Trust you'll get there in the end. And sure enough, as my brain fog lifted and I regained my energy, my world looked a whole lot better by the end of April. Last but not least, let's look at the tarot decks that came into my collection in April. I have never felt like adding a historical Tarot de Marseille to my collection, but somehow in April I ended up with not one, but two Tarot de Marseille decks. The first one is the Nouveau Tarot de Marseille by Gonzalo Enyas. As soon as I saw this deck on Dustin's channel Modern Metaphysicae, I knew I would love it. I absolutely love this art style, which has strong comic book vibes. Even the pips are so beautifully illustrated. This is by no means a lazy pip deck. If you cannot handle a little gore, please close your eyes for the next one, the Tarot de Marseille par Paul K. This is just the weirdest little tarot deck ever, and although I do not particularly like the gory parts, I do really like the illustration style. It had been on my wishlist for a while, and when I found it second-hand for a really good price, it seemed like the perfect opportunity to give it a try. Although to be honest, I don't know if I will be reading with this deck a lot. But it's a lovely novelty deck to have in my collection for now. And that's it. Those were some of the things I enjoyed in April. It was an interesting month with ups and downs, but I'm happy it ended better than it started. With spring finally here, I'm looking forward to May. I will do my best to create another video or two before we will travel to a country we have been wanting to visit for years and years. But I will tell you all about that next month. Bye!